Up and running.
Hello and welcome to Overwatch Today with myself, Big Fish. We have our esteemed panel of Hunter Sumner and Nevin39 joining us, fellas.
Happy Sunday night, everybody!
Oh my god, it's actually Sunday.
Sunday night special of Overwatch.
Or for those of you listening in podcast land, it's Monday.
Oh man.
So, let's start off with Nevin, since you were on the show, and then we had to edit it out, and then so myself and Hunter did the show. Unfortunately, you weren't there for day one, so if you want to give yourself a quick introduction and where we can find you on the internet, if you want to plug anything, or whatever you got.
Alrighty, that is no problem. My name is Nevin39. What I mainly do is YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years. You can find that channel at youtube.com/27nevin, or you can look up Nevin the Stapler King on YouTube. Whichever you prefer is a little bit easier for you, is is all for you. But that's mainly what I do. I just I enjoy Overwatch, so that's why I'm here, and it's a good opportunity to actually meet up with these two fantastic fellows that are before me right now.
Wow, that was a way to that was a good segue back. Way to throw it back. So Hunter, you're on vacation. How's your vacation going?
So far, so good. It's far too short to be over way too soon, but I think it usually always works that way. So, got to have off for BlizzCon, though. Didn't have to get to actually go this year, but I got to watch everything on the virtual ticket. So, still got to enjoy it to a certain degree. So.
Hey, I mean, it still counts.
Yeah. Maybe next year. We'll see how things go.
Oh, man.
Nice. So, so have you guys watched any more or read anything else of Sombra? What do you guys think of her? We kind of talked about it last time. We went over everything that we know so far. So what do you guys
Nevin
think
wasn't here, so I'd probably like to get some of his opinions on her first.
I feel like a lot of people think that she might be fundamentally a broken character, but at the same time, I don't really feel that is the same way. Because you guys already seen her kit. I'm assuming that when she has the machine gun as her main walk, which I have to say that walk cycle is awesome. That is a great walk cycle. It looks like she's like leading a Broadway show or something. But then she has the EMPs. She has her hacking abilities along with the teleporter. I honestly feel like it's a really good. She might be a very good character when it comes down to like taking over choke points. More of like a not really a zone character, but I feel like she's gonna be more of a defensive character in the long run, because of what she can do. On top of the fact of like shutting down ults, being able to take down some turrets, stop an enemy from shooting for a certain while. Which I feel like could be really handy. For an example, if she manages to throw her teleporter behind a bastion to get him to stop for a while in order for the team to focus fire. I honestly feel like she'd be a great addition to the team, and it was in the live stream or the podcast that we were first in, that the audio was kind of choppy. It's another thing I also have to say that during that, I was mentioning that Blizzard would have to do a lot for, one, to make her feel like she'd be a little bit easier to integrate into the Overwatch cast, and two, on top of Sombra, release something like a new map, a new game mode, or something of the other. And it turns out that they've done all of that, plus released a cinematic at that moment, which I feel like, it makes me feel a bit satisfied for having waited so long, just like everyone else has, and like having to go through all of the progress of that ARG. I just feel like it's going to be something good, and there was hints of that there might be a possibility of playtesting being available for consoles. So I don't know if you guys heard too much about that or.
I saw some of that on Reddit, and little hints and rumors, somebody claiming they heard one of the developers in an interview make a comment about that. If we actually see anything on the official forums with the blue text, or we get, another update video from Jeff or something on YouTube or anything that actually gives us a little more credit to that, I'll definitely be a little bit more excited. I think I'm going to kind of hold the reins back a little bit on it until I get something other than just, that I overheard, it's that whole my uncle works for Blizzard. He says this is coming out kind of thing. So, you don't believe everything you hear online. Once there's something physically a little more from somebody in actual writing or on video, I mean, clearly I'd love to see it, but I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet. I know how consoles work, and I don't know how they would implement the PTR on console with the constant need for Sony or Microsoft, depending on which platform you're using, to want to micromanage all those constant updates.
I mean, it's the internet. Who would ever tell a lie on the internet?
Yeah.
But another interesting thing that I did see that they did hint at the possibilities of fixing up the play of the games, which was a really exciting thing to hear. Another thing was also that they're seeing how they're going to be able to implement a feature in which, if, for example, two characters assisted each other into getting the play of the game, then they would both be highlighted. And they also kind of they're thinking about doing something like a special kind of emote where it'd be like a high five or a hug or something like that, which honestly I feel like it would be pretty cool because, you've seen it time and time again where an Ana would nano boost, like, let's say, for example, like a Genji or a bigger tank, and they wipe the entire team, and then the play of the game goes to whomever got those kills or did that, while the Ana's just like, yeah, I just made him turn all shiny and blue.
Enemy sighted.
Yeah. No, I would love to see something. I mean, clearly it's supposed to be a team-based game, so a team-type play of the game just helps cement that teamwork, I think, a little bit more for people in that mindset.
What do you think, Fish?
Yeah, I seen one where it was a couple months ago where they were working on the play of the games, and Anna nano boosted the Reinhardt, and as she nano boosted the Reinhardt, the camera switched to Reinhardt, and then you saw Reinhardt's point of view as he wiped out whoever he wiped out. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think we forget that the play of the game is really kind of unique and interesting within itself, just within Overwatch, and for people to complain about it's kind of silly. Like a lot of the other games of these FPS things, like you get a lot of them just showed the last shot of the match, and a lot of the times it's not very exciting. It's just like somebody, like, hooray, you got the last kill. What is that? Like, you, like, literally the clock was ticking down, and you ran around and just tried to kill somebody so you could get on the feed. It's like, come on. I mean, that's not interesting at all. I'd much rather see, turret mode Bastion or Torbjorn not doing anything than, just the last kill of the game.
You mean the play of the game where Torbjorn's dead, but the turret kills 4 people? Is it great for you?
No, like I think
his corpse did so much work just laying there.
I think I know which one you're talking about too. That one play of the game where the Torbjorn was dead and his body just started slowly falling off of the ledge.
That was me at the beginning of Overwatch when I played Torbjorn all the time when the turret was totally OP and you could literally kill everyone. That was me all the time.
Those are good times. Torbjorn, like I said, is he's the one character for if you really don't want to play Overwatch, but at the same time you kind of do.
Right. You don't have to do anything. You just put up the turret and then run around.
Pull up the turret, city moat, GG, and hit triangle every once in a while.
Right. Yeah, you hit triangle every 2 minutes when the
And the ult goes up. Yep, up. Molten core. Okay. Molten
Like,
core. Okay.
okay. Oh, speaking of the Anna play the game thing, by the way, I have a funny story to tell you that for many months, I've already been saying when Anna first came out, I was looking at how her play of the games work, wherein, you know, that whole nano boost situation. And I joked around saying whoever spent gold coins on a Anna highlight intro, they basically wasted their coins because they're not ever gonna see it. And so I had a friend, like, I don't know where the spark came from, but after I said that, for a good 3 or 4 weeks straight, he played nothing but Anna, trying his damn best to get a play of the game. And I told him that if he ever gets a play of the game, I owe him $5. And I owe him $5. He actually got a legitimate Anna play of the game where he was doing a ton of healing and ended up getting like 3 or 4 kills, and I honestly thought it was the funniest thing.
Nice. Yeah, Anna the play of the games always end up at the top of Reddit. So silly.
Oh man. Do you think we're gonna get?
Anyway,
I feel it.
What? Oh yeah, I'm probably good sniped.
Hunter, I'm sorry, but you're gonna die again.
No, not again. Wait, I know that person.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Rumba. Oh, mine.
I was like, who are these people? These people aren't me.
Here, I'll do introductions for Rumba. Rumba is on my comp team. She is also a wonderful streamer on Twitch that I have done multiple multi-streams with. So
Hello,
please,
Hello.
please go visit her channel too. She usually does a PJ Sunday.
Which tonight?
And everything, just tonight, Monday for people in YouTube land, and everything. But she's definitely worth watching. She's a wonderful person.
Aww, I'm gonna
She gets her own introduction. How do you like that?
Oh man, I have a tear in my eye. I have to suck it back in.
I know. Me too.
She's also savage on Zenyatta. Beware the orb.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'd be afraid of any robot just floating around playing with his balls.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Me too.
Speak
Me
of
too.
the devil. Oh, I'm spooked.
Scaliata.
Oh god, I wish Moses
Very
would join.
nice.
I told him to.
The more the merrier.
On Clubs Lives, hello. Thanks for joining in. How are you tonight? I'm gonna tell Moses to join in. Is that cool with you, Hunter?
It's Fish's program, so I don't want
It's
to
fine.
Oh.
It's fine.
Is it cool?
This is getting a little bit intense
Fine.
now. There's too many people. We only brought enough dip for like 3.
You only brought enough what?
We only brought
Dip?
enough dip
Is that
for
what you
3.
said?
Yes, dip.
Oh. Well.
So yeah, that whole somber
So-
situation seems fun.
Alright, some pickles. Good night. Thanks for joining in. I understand. I feel tired. So tired right now.
So, did anybody see the sounds and thing? The sounds.
I had it going in the background. I didn't watch it intently. I have to go back and rewatch the sound one. I've been trying to find the voice actor panel on YouTube that hopefully somebody had recorded, but I haven't had much luck. I think there's like a 5-minute one that's on YouTube right now, and that's about it.
Oh,
You can read it on Reddit.
Oh,
Really
really?
not as interesting.
Oh man.
But the most interesting thing that was the Genji sounds. The Genji sounds come from kitchen utensils.
Pretzels. Wow, what? What?
Now that
I think they had a piece of gardening equipment or something too.
So yeah, it's yeah, and then hold on, it says crossbow when it goes by your ear. Kitchen knives, cookie cutters, and garden tools.
Hunter, where are you?
Jesus Christ! Now I'm gonna be afraid of every time that I walk into my kitchen, my knives are gonna start speaking Japanese.
As long as dragons don't suddenly appear from them and start swirling around in green or blue colors.
You know,
What do you mean? That'd be awesome.
If anything, I'll just have to run for a little while. You just give it 6 seconds, and then we'll see what happens after.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of Genji,
As long as it doesn't happen as you're trying to eat.
speaking of Genji, by the way, it happened anyway.
It happened again.
I thought we were friends!
It was just the opportunity.
Betrayed me.
You're my target practice.
Now there's gonna be like that walk of shame that he has to do. Oh man. But did you guys hear about that whole that Genji Nexus thing? That Oni skin looks really good. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have to get on our PC after the 15th and just make up 15 games. We just all get in one together and sit AFK and let the game run.
Yeah.
So
we're
we
gonna
had to
live
win.
stream our
We had to
show.
play 15.
Just keep it on till your
Yeah, so we're gonna
RAM
live stream the
slowly
show
starts to
from Heroes of the Storm.
open. Oh. Hey, you know what? I'd be definitely down. I honestly never played Hero of the Storms myself. But I'd be glad to do that with you guys too. Oh man.
It's good times indeed.
Oh yeah.
It's only 15 games, so that's no big deal.
15 games and you see it takes us like 4 days. Oh man. No! No!
Apparently this podcast is not going to be serious at all tonight, is it?
Christ
Been
almighty.
totally derailed.
Oh my
That's
god.
alright.
What game would I compare this to? Guys, what's that
happened.
game that this game is so similar to? I'm forgetting the name.
Team Fortress?
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, Team
There's a
Fortress.
lot of games that it's similar to.
There was another one that I recently saw. That was
Paladins of the Realm is like Team
I
Fortress too.
forget.
I say we could always bring in the whole Paladins argument. That'll be
Oh, dude, that whole Paladin. I wonder how they're gonna do Sombra if they choose to do that. Like, how would that work? Do you think it'd be like a
I
guy in
see
a
you trying
trench
to
coat?
hide.
like some guy wearing a fedora with like a trench coat,
Yeah.
and he just like he just throw like these like friggin' old school like
Wow.
CRT monitors everywhere.
What? How are there two of you now? Oh, Moses, fuck you! You're a jerk! Really?
I'm afraid. I'm
Moses
afraid.
randomly joined online
Hold
and killed me.
Hold me.
Right, Moses is my
You're
boyfriend.
too big.
I've lost complete control.
This is
Am I
it.
gonna get a PS4 Pro?
This is it. This is
no, I
already-
don't think so. I think I'm
it's
probably
already
gonna switch to
begun.
PC at some point.
Yeah, if you want to be in the Overwatch League, you gotta be PC.
Bitch.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I don't know how to feel about this. I'm afraid. Oh yeah.
Afraid of what?
Oh. Yeah. Apparently I have to go
I'm just
sit in
gonna
the
sit
corner. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner over here. I'll think about what I've done.
I came and I
Yeah.
disrupted the flow. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fine. It's totally fine.
Game should be $40
If we get any
tops.
more,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to,
Huh?
if we play any, get any more, we're gonna have to just do 3v3.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
you know what? Yeah, that's honestly true. It'll be fun when it comes to. Oh, I'm not involved in this, Harambe. Please.
You're involved now, whether you want to be or not.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Involved now.
One hit.
I'm not here. I'm not
One
here.
hit.
I'm
He's
not
one
here.
hit. No, he got help, didn't he? No! Why?
You don't.
It's not
want
fair. I'm the only one fighting. This is a 1v2.
Wait.
I'm looking really forward to the Overwatch League, though. In all honesty, I want to see where it goes.
It honestly could go either way, but like, you know what? I'm thinking it's going to be a very good thing for Overwatch in general. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, if it's
man.
not if it doesn't turn into a giant marketing.
No, as long as it doesn't do that, as long as they're
that's not fair,
as they're
mister.
honestly playing, paying attention to the people who are playing the game and not trying to make this a huge cash grab, I think it'll be an awesome thing happening. But it's always tricky because there has to be a balance when it comes to that. Hey man, you keep throwing those, you're gonna hurt my feelings.
Right.
Oh, there you go. You know what? You just made a grown man cry. How do you feel? Okay. Oh no.
Pretty good.
Oh man.
I feel okay.
So, what do you guys speculate?
I swear to God, babe, I will break up with you. Stop picking on me.
What do you guys think? Oh no, I'm not involved in this. I'm a pacifist. I promise.
Hey guys, I'm gonna leave the group for a minute. I'll be back in a minute.
Yes, just don't bully me.
So, in the Q&A, I was reading some of the Q&A to keep the show continuing without.
I like how all that chaos just ensued, and we're just like, well, back to normal scheduled programming.
You gotta keep the show has to continue.
Bye, friends, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Totally fine. Whatever.
Anyway,
I have no control of them.
It's all good. So the Q&A part was interesting. I was reading through some of it. The one that stood out to me was the question said, some abilities function weirdly at times. Hanzo hitboxes, Roadhog hooks, etc. What do you think you could improve on those? And the answer was, we want a lumberjack skin for Hanzo that shoots logs for clarity. We've been iterating on that a lot. We make trade-offs.
Something certain Roadhog's hook into a cage.
Yeah, it says we make trade-offs for people shooting the arrow and receiving the hook. We're looking at Roadhog, and we're calling it Hook 2.0.
Hook 2.0.
So,
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lumberjack thing was awesome. I
thought it's like, because that's what he shoots is freaking logs.
Oh man.
So, and then the other good comment was toxicity. Somebody just asked about that's all the question was toxicity. The answer, I won't read the whole answer, but they're looking into whatever to do different things or whatever, but then one of the devs on the panel asked Jeff Kaplan, what's the punishment for playing Widowmaker? Well, and then the answer was, well, at the end of the game, there's a big defeat. That was the best, I think. That was the best one.
Oh, yeah.
Enemy sighted.
But,
so
hopefully with her buffs coming up after the PTR and everything, that'll improve a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what was the other? I mean, it's not on here, but the video. He said, yeah, he's like, because she was so much better when she was OP and everybody was complaining about her. It's like, so it's like you can't win.
No, you can't make everyone.
I mean, balance is always going to be a thing. I mean, it's dealing with a competitive game. They want to try and make it an esport. It's got an Overwatch League now, which they clearly premiered. So, I mean, balance is always going to be something that they're tweaking and playing around with, I think. There's never going to be a perfect balance, especially with new characters coming out. Now, I think, they've got the one hero limit. They're going to finally be able to, focus on one hero per team, and the balance around that will definitely be able to be done better in comparison to like when quick play and everything we had hero stacking. So the balance is always going to be about one hero in a team. But I mean, it's never going to be perfect.
No, of course.
I think anyone that expects it to be perfect is going to be complaining for the rest of the game's life. It's because it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, they're going to be very disappointed when it comes to that because, you know, that whole competitive thing, I felt like it was going to be a little bit harder to kind of, you know, like you guys saw in the first season, it was kind of brutal. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, that whole point system, it's a little bit more reworked now, which I actually enjoy the way it is now. So it actually feels like it's of course a little bit longer to earn your, skirmish is about to end. It's a little bit longer to earn your gold weapons, but you know it's a good thing because you get more points out of it, and even like from during the season and during the end of the season, which, you know, honestly it's pretty good for me. And another thing, that the hero stacking was a huge problem, on top of the other things. Like, you guys remember the whole coin toss thing? That was that was a nightmare. So I really do love the time bank system that they have in place right now, and it makes the game just feel you know, a little bit more enjoyable to play during competitive. But then you do get that one person every once in a while that's just like, hey, let's go play Symmetra on attack, and you know, what can you do, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. You're just gonna have to.
Nothing at all.
You're just gonna have to watch them rushing in and then putting in turrets that immediately get destroyed.
Right. So, I think the only other thing, like, somebody in the chat, Parker, said, what about arcade mode and stuff? So, we kind of touched on the other stuff from day one last time, but, I don't know. Nevin, what do you think about the new modes? Did you see them all and everything? What do you think?
I didn't get to see them all, unfortunately, because I was at work at the moment.
Okay, so
run over them again real quick. I mean,
sure.
The 1 versus 1. So you've got the mystery hero duel,
Mm-hmm.
which you basically get to play a random hero. So you go in there, it picks Soldier 76. Both players get to be Soldier. And, you know, it's basically 1v1 is that, and you get to see who's the better of that character, kind of deal. I mean, there's 3 versus 3, which is the new elimination one, which is I'm very excited to see where they go with that one, which is 3 versus 3, like I just said. That's going to have its own specific maps being made for it, including that Echo Point Antarctica. That's, you know, one life a person. Of course, Mercy involved in your team could change that dramatically in a match like that. Then there's the free-for-all mode, which is our standard 6 versus 6 like we have now with quick play. That's what it's getting turned into once the one hero limit gets supplied to quick play.
yeah, so then you have that, and then you have the no limits, which is you can have all 6 tracers, and you can pretty much like quick play now. It's called no limits. And then there's the brawl mode, which will have all the brawls that we've seen so far, plus a bunch of new ones and whatever else they add. So, I don't know. I mean, and then, so then you get, when you get 3 wins in arcade mode, you get a loot box. And you're allowed 9 wins for 3 extra loot boxes a week. So you get extra loot boxes. It's like an incentive to play in the arcade mode. So on top of your leveling up loot box, you get an extra loot box for playing in the arcade. So, which I think was a big plus to playing in the arcade, or like one of the reasons not very many people played the brawl, because there's no incentive, and
the XP was minimal. And
you get like half XP for playing in a brawl, which is kind of boring. So, I don't know. What do you think about now that we've broken it down for you?
Well, the new things with the quick play, I honestly feel it's actually something a bit more refreshing, because now people have the choice of like, hey, do I actually want to have fun, you know, playing quick play in an actual competitive format without the risk of playing competitive, or do I just want to do all Torbjorn or defense? You know, you get the little balance, or you know, it's the choice that you get. That's what I love about it. It's that you have the choice to have fun in your own way, in the way that you see that's fun.
Yeah.
That whole free for all concept too seems pretty funny because of course we see this as a team based game, so it's gonna be a little bit weird. But like, okay, I guess, you know, let's see how that works out. But you know what? I feel like it's also gonna be another fun thing. It's just gonna be another new game mode that we can experiment with, have fun. You know, like seeing how that works. And I'm pretty sure, or at least I might be hoping a bit, that those are gonna be also on the smaller maps. Because it's gonna be harder to do like team-based objectives on that unless you know, there might be let's say a King of the Hill mode or something, for as an example. But you know, I feel like that's also gonna be pretty fun too. Let's see.
Well, I think it was interesting. Sorry,
no,
say just to stick. Well, before we move on past this, somebody asked him when Arcade got brought up with this 1 versus 1 and 3 versus 3. If it would ever be competitive with those too, and Jeff made a very strong point that if there was enough interest in it, that these modes could also become a form of competitive, which I think will be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be, to be honest, because it's like it'll be crazy to see like those. I doubt the random hero one or the mystery hero would be a big one for the competitive, because it feels like a little bit gimmicky. It's kind of lucky because it's like, hey, I can have my main, or I can have someone that I barely ever play, and I'm just gonna have to deal with that. So I feel like that would be left out of the question when
the 3 versus 3 one though is interesting, especially with its own maps.
No, definitely that one really does sound interesting. It reminds me of if you've ever played it's one of the older Call of Duties. I believe it was Modern Warfare 3 had something like that, wherein it had the 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 maps, and there were specific maps made for those modes, where like, you know, you can go in, like, you don't even have to be, you can be with like, you know, a friend of yours, or if you want to go in solo, you go in solo, you fight one random person, and then you go at it from there, and then it'd be different game modes that you'd be able to play. Not just the you know, the regular team deathmatch. It'd be the like a kill confirmed or something like that. So it really did remind me of that, but that was actually a really good thing. That was one of my more favorite things about the game, because it's like, you know, there are days where I'm like, hey, you know what, I kind of want to play on my own, but you know, I don't want anything else interfering. Like, let's say if we've all had those moments when we're playing Overwatch and we have that one rivalry with that one person that just like, it's kind of like a back and forth with you. It's kind of like that with when it comes to terms of 1v1. But you know,
now what about say we've got the stop clock and everything like we just talked about a couple minutes ago. What if we have tiebreakers that shoot us into these other modes, especially if they want to have our, you know, we've got our seagulls, we've got our tailspins, we've got, you know, our Kobe Bryants and Michael Jordans of esports. Mm-hmm. So now we've got our typical 6 versus 6. We've got a tiebreaker. Rather than going into running that map again, we now take our 3 best people and we throw them into elimination. Or we take our best person from each team and throw them into a 1v1 to break that tie. So we have that superstar player.
Well, I think the best way to go at it is
it's like a hockey shootout.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know what? I have a perfect solution to that. All right. So let's say in that moment that it happens, in that situation, you know, it starts up. You get your 3 best players, and you do the one game mode that is designed for this. Lucio Ball. And that's it. Like, but in all seriousness, that really does seem like a pretty cool concept. I mean, so does Lucio. God damn. Yeah, that'd be funny. Just like watching like an MLG live stream, and it's just like, oh, 3, dois, and then just yeah, all Lucios. But in all seriousness, you know, that would be pretty cool, to be honest. Of course, it'd be weird in one way or another, because you do leave out some of the team when it comes to that. But it kind of, you know, like, it'll pit the best against the best in like a very tense and a very interesting way. and then they'd have to reformulate their strategies, but not as a team that they have fully, but just, you know, and in whatever limited team that they have. And of course they might have different strengths and weaknesses that play with or against each other, but you know, it also has to be a matter of like balancing when it comes to that. So yes, it's a good idea on paper, but if it were to happen, let's see how it gets settled down.
I think one of the other things they talked about, somebody asked, it may have been the Q&A, I can't remember. Didn't somebody ask about like weather conditions and stuff being implemented into it? You know, night and dark. I know one of the things I was talking with somebody about on the forums, it's been a couple months back and everything too, though, is when they let us change our skins before the match in the actual character selection that they're talking about implementing. You know, you can't do it once the match actually starts, but rather than going all the way back out the hero gallery, switching there, they let you change it in there. So if I'm in Hanamura or Anubis, maybe like Anubis rather than that, I can change my skin to be more sandy color. So now I'm blending in. And we start getting strategies around, I'm picking a skin and everything for that, so they don't see me as easy on this map or this area I can hide in now. You know, sometimes we get characters using, I've seen it before a couple times, they'll have Dorado, they have Junkrat, where he does his lay down thing, his sit emote, so he's actually hiding in the bushes.
Sexy Junkrat.
Yeah, sexy Junkrat. And people actually walk by him, they don't see him, they jumps out and starts bombing people right there behind him, because nobody's seen him with his emote. You know, imagine that now with the skin coloration to help blend in even more, stuff like that. Well, just going into strategy more with the game too.
Yeah, that's what like I was playing. I've been playing a lot of Zenyatta, and I had the one whatever with his turban, with the giant turban or whatever, and well, he's white and shiny, and I looked at it and I'm like, and I realized I'm like, man, everybody can fucking see me from like across the map. Oh. So I had to change it to something else.
Like, I feel like that'd be cool, but in the way there could be two ways that they could implement it. They could, of course, bring up the entire hero gallery, or if they want to save in the terms of like console limitations, they could make it so that way it brings up a list showing, like, you know, the different names and of course in different, like, you know, different colored text, the rarities of that said skin. So for example, like above the character, a small little list would pop up saying that these are the skins for that character, the ones that you have unlocked, only the ones you have unlocked though, because if it were all of them, then you have to scroll down, or like not even scroll down, but just like select that small chunk. But another problem with that would be people would be too preoccupied changing their skins over and over again. So my idea would be to make it so that way if you want to change your skin, it's only going to be able to be done during the setup. Either during the setup or
that's
once.
what they said.
Yes, yeah.
The hero selection.
During the setup, you know, once the game starts, you can't change it again. It's only during that initial setup.
Right.
Oh yeah. Speaking
but
of
that way you know what map you're in now. It's like, oh, so I'm going to switch to this skin because I know I'll blend in better because I'm going to be sniping as Widowmaker. Hopefully, Widowmaker gets improved, or as Hanzo, or I'm a sniper. I'm a healer, so I want to stay more hidden. As Ana or something. So.
Right.
Yeah. But.
I'm curious to see if that gets implemented, where that could go too with it.
No, I feel like it'd be a pretty fun addition because they've been doing pretty good so far, Blizzard, and of course with fan service, because that's what they're used to, and they're very good at listening. So I mean, so far our voices have been heard, and let's see what happens and if they're able to make it happen. But
yeah, the problem I think that I see with that is that they literally listen to everyone, and although like some of the suggestions are valid and good, if you have a bad suggestion and it gets too much popularity, like they almost have no choice but to do something about it. So it's like
Yeah, I mean,
you get that
for
one
every,
bad
every good
suggestion.
suggestion, there's about 10 bad ones, and if one of the bad ones gets traction, it's like,
It's
Right.
like,
That's that's the only problem that I have with it. So.
I like. We all know at least one really terrible one too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, is there anything else from BlizzCon that I think we talked about pretty much everything? Was there anything else that happened? And then the other, we didn't talk about the World Tournament or the World Cup. So the World Cup ended.
South Korea rules all.
And yeah, they pretty much like steamrolled everybody. That was like silly.
Man, do you think it works that, like, you know, all the South Koreans live together in like this really like shady abandoned warehouse at the edge of like a really popular city, and then they're just like, if you don't win, we'll send you up north. Like I feel like that's how it goes down.
That's definitely that's definitely what happens.
And then, you know, that's the motivation, man. Over here is just like, oh, you come home, just enjoy a Mountain Dew and Dorito sponsorship, or a T-Mobile one. You guys have been seeing that the hero of data, those ads that T-Mobile's been putting out. It's like a
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So basically, you can look it up. It's called the hero hero of data or whatever, and it's supposed to be the like the sponsorship when it comes to the whole BlizzCon, and it was so weird because it's like, yeah, that's cool and everything. You know, Overwatch is getting some more traction, and you know, like bigger companies are just like, hey, you know, we can do that, but at the same time, what does T-Mobile have to do with Overwatch besides being able to watch the streams on your phone? But at the same time, it's like, and what else? It's kind of like, okay, I mean, yeah, like Hanzo's popping his ults over the unlimited data. I love it. This is exactly what
Switch over to T-Mobile now to unlock a free McCree skin for your.
Gee,
Yeah,
like
no,
that would be that would be funny though. It's just like, oh, we got this one McCree skin where he's like in all pink and he has like a cell phone in his hand that shoots like little lasers.
No, that's not.
No. But you know it'd be a terrible costume like that.
Or Junkrat throws Galaxy, or what was it, Galaxy 7s at everyone.
Oh my god! Like they give Reinhardt like a big ass like Noki at the end of his hammer.
Nice.
Oh man, that's that's the funny thing. I mean, there are good and bad sponsorships, and I just don't know how to feel about that one. I can't tell if it's good or bad because it's kind of enthusiastic and there's some gameplay going on, but at the same time, I'm like, why?
I think there's going to be some weird sponsorships with esports kind of budding now as a actual real kind of sport that people are starting to take serious. So you're going to have all these companies trying to jump in on the ground level, trying to get some kind of recognition with it. And you're going to have all these weird commercials because these companies don't really even know what they're sponsoring yet.
Yeah, it's the look at me commercial. We're awesome and
See, we're cutting edge. We recognize esports.
yeah.
Buy our product because you're a young person involved in esports. See, we're behind you. Go esports, even though we have no idea what.
they're just like
no idea.
Like an old guy.
But we know
up.
the demographic is 20-year-olds, and that's what we want to buy our phones. So.
Exactly.
You could just imagine just like some really old fat dude with like these really big like hound jowls coming up to somebody with a briefcase, and he's like, "Oh, you make me money now, and you get the rest of this." And he's just like, but do you even care about the sport? Where am I? Just like the guy not even knowing what's going on, but
I'm trying to take my money.
Like just take the money. Like, but
Esport? It's actually a sport. I just thought it was an acronym.
I thought it was just the internet in general, so here's some money.
I used to make fun of my kid, but now look at you making money. He still gets made fun of though. But it is true. It's becoming a weird phenomenon. But then again, like pick your sponsorships carefully because if not, you're gonna be the You're gonna be that one McDonald's that gets sponsored by LA Fitness. It's not gonna make any sense.
One of these things doesn't belong here.
I think it's the LA Fitness. I enjoy the burgers.
Maybe the Nike sponsorship for esports.
Right.
Oh man, like
Thanks, Nike.
You're really looking out for me there. It's like
My athletic gear for my esports tournament, you know.
You know, it'd be funny if Ben Gay was sponsoring some of these tournaments, because you know there might be some carpal tunnel going on.
Yeah.
Oh man, but you see, this is we just got to be real careful with this. That's all it is.
So I think that pretty much wraps up everything at BlizzCon.
Day two was a little disappointing in reality. I mean, we had the Q&A, and I really think that's about all we really got out of it. And it was mostly just them admitting that there were some mistakes, which was a good thing. And then it's like, okay, here's a couple things we already discussed during opening ceremony.
Yeah, I think day two was more like for the people that were there. It kind of seemed like it was just like day one's for everybody in the universe, and then day two's like for everybody that's there, you know, hanging out and doing whatever. So I don't know. It was interesting, and we'll see what comes out of it next week. We'll get on the PTR and check out Sombra.
I think we'll all have a lot more to talk about once she's on the PTR.
Yeah,
definitely.
and once they implement the new modes and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure everything is gonna go, you know, rough at first and smooth sailing after they iron out all the bugs.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. You know, you have the two. Everybody's already saying, you know, Sombra's OP, and you know, her kit's totally, you know, OP, and you know, there's no counter to what she has. It's like she counters everyone and everything. But then you have people that are at BlizzCon, they're like, she's so hard to play because she's so squishy. And it's like any other hero. You just gotta play her and get used to her, and you gotta play against her and figure it out. So,
So
we'll see what happens.
it's kind of like that joke where it's like Sombra walks into a bar and asks, "Where's the counter?"
Right.
But you know what would be interesting to see? Genji can deflect projectiles, and the teleporter is technically a projectile. So would that redirect him because it gets reassigned to him throwing the projectile, or would Sombra be redirected?
Well, if it's not a harming projectile, I don't know if he'd be able to deflect it.
I mean, if he mostly could deflect it off and it would just be somewhere else, he'd have no way of activating it himself, so it wouldn't do him any good.
I mean,
Right.
It'd be interesting because speaking of harming projectiles, like Pharah, for example, her concussive blast does no damage and he's still able to reflect it. So it's kind of like, that's the question I'm thinking, because I'm thinking Genji would be a way to redirect that teleporter.
Right.
No, I could see him knocking it off of pattern or whatever, so now she's got to wait for it to recharge so she can throw it again.
Or even worse, she'd be thrown to a place she doesn't intend to go to.
Right.
So that's another big one.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to be one of those really good Genji mains to know what you're deflecting or reflecting.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the Sombra player also knows, oh, it got knocked off, I don't use it. But
Right. Pro Sombra.
Pro Sombra. Just give her an anonymous mask and she'll be good.
Totally fine. Everything's fine. Yep. So, I don't know. Unless you guys got something else you want to talk about or plug or anything else, I think we can wrap this one up.
I mean,
I think we've covered everything. So
yeah, we've touched on some pretty decent bases. You know, just kind of covering what's happening with the whole Sombra and PTR thing, especially with those new game modes and updates that I'm really excited about. Also super excited about the season since it's coming close to an end now. So you know, let's see how everyone's doing right now. I know there are a lot of people trying to get their last minute matches on, and there are other people who are playing other games, and then there are those who are just like still playing Symmetra on attack. But you know,
Yeah. Now is a good time to play in comp mode, really, because everybody else is starting to play other games and not pay attention. So you get a lot of the people that aren't so serious. Although that doesn't always bode well for if you're if you're really trying hard. But I don't know.
yeah, I think.
So
No, I
a lot
think
of the
a lot of
super
people
tryhards are playing right now.
I mean, the PC people clearly have a different experience than we do. They'll have a lot better chance of getting some ranked up because you know all the people that are high enough level that they're kind of just maintaining will take the break to go jump on the PTR to try the new character. So you don't have to deal with those people anymore.
Right.
So you know, it'd be the question whether we get Sombra before the season ends, which again, going back to the earlier podcast we had, I don't think we will, just with the way things get bundled for us here over on console. I think we'll get Sombra right there before season 3 kicks off.
Right. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
sorry. Yeah, I mean, it has been getting a little bit better because, of course, the PTR does get, priority for PC players and everything because it's just supposed to be, seeing how it works in an actual situation rather than how a development team sees it, because of course it's always going to be different. But the other thing is that they've been pretty good with that. When the updates like they've been trying to make it so that way when the updates come out on the PC, they also come out on PlayStation, which I feel like it's a pretty good thing. Of course it took a little while, and of course it can't be every single update that can be done this way, but they do what they can to try to make it as consistent and uniform as possible, or as they possibly can.
At least they're trying.
Yeah, and I think if anything, Blizzard with the esports behind them now can definitely have a little more pull.
Yeah.
To get those updates. I really think that can help push them. Be like, look, Sony, look, Microsoft, we need this out. This is a huge esports thing. This is major money. And you know what? If you help us with this, this is me on my knees to the great spirits in the sky and everything else. Look, if we can get this going tournament style on this esports level, this is Sony getting recognition out there during a console tournament. This is Microsoft getting recognition out there doing a console tournament. This benefits you to benefit us. So, again, this is, that hoping kind of scenario. Don't know how much it'll pay off.
Well, I mean, for Blizzard, who hasn't had a solid console game in a long time, that with Overwatch being, I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know when the last console game Blizzard had.
Diablo 3.
And, well, yeah, I guess so. Oh, sorry.
I think before that it was StarCraft on the N64.
That's right, yeah.
That didn't go so well.
No.
Oh, what do you mean? That's my favorite port. I still play 2 on my Commodore.
On your Commodore? You still play Lost Vikings on NES?
Yes.
Or Super Nintendo?
Oh man, my favorite game is Top Gun. I had Mega Man and I'm just like, this game is garbage. You just had to throw it out.
Top Gun. I can't get past the first damn level.
What do you mean? That's the challenge of it. It's like an actual. That's how they taught me back in aviation school. They're just like, yeah, just play Top Gun for 5 hours straight, and if you can land it once, you're good.
If you can get past the first boss wave, you're totally fine.
Like, as long as you don't land in the water, I think you'll be fine. You have you could have the whole day if you want. Just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you get the keys to a jet right the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't land it, but they gave me the benefit of the doubt. They're like, yeah, it's a little bit hard, man. No one's really ever done it.
Pretty. Yeah, yeah.
God, I was set up. This was a ruse. Oh man, but
Sniped.
man, you better watch out before I become Widowmaker and kill you with my ult.
I can see you from everywhere.
It's like, yeah, everyone's important. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Hanzo's actually pretty good, but if you, I mean, Jeff's kind of right. let's be honest for a second. There are a lot of good Widowmaker mains, but then there are a lot of bad ones.
Oh yeah.
Widowmaker is, I don't know.
Dude, she's a top
It's
tier.
Top tier.
Top tier.
Right. Top tier.
Right next to Genji. Oh man.
Nice. So, I think that's it for this show today. Are you guys gonna be up for anytime else this week? Tuesday will be our debut of Symmetra, and so
Symmetra.
I'll be here Tuesday.
I think you still want to play Symmetra on attack.
the other Symmetra.
We might get some. You never know. We might get some that change Symmetra on the update with Sombra.
Yeah,
That's
You
true.
could see something.
I can't wait for that
new
Symmetra update. That's what I'm.
New
that's what I'm
improved
excited.
Symmetra.
It's there's gonna be
Actual
like
assault Symmetra. She'll get changed over to
Assault
offense.
they'll give her her own game mode where it's just like all Symmetras and everyone has to be the first one to build a teleporter. Oh man. She gets like 12 new skins. All only in loot boxes.
Symmetra skins. Symmetra. She's the ultimate skin champion.
There's gonna be like 3. One where she's like an accountant. Another one where she's just a construction worker, and one where she's just wearing a costume of her gun. That's the one I'm excited about. And she goes around just like screaming at everyone.
And then there's the other one where she's wearing a microwave on her head. And she's an actual microwave.
That's the appropriate one.
That's gonna be the best one actually. Oh man. And her ultimate, just like when she pops up the teleporter, and every time you use it, you just hear like those old school microwave, the little ding noises.
Yeah. Ding. Dings every time you go through it. Ding. Ding.
Oh man. That's the skin we need. Forget the lumberjack Hanzo.
Yep. We need microwave Symmetra.
Oh man.
Anyway, so guys, if there's anything you want to plug at the end of the show here, you're welcome to do so.
I will always, again, as I say every time, I will take blatant self-promotion. So I'll go ahead and give myself a plug again. You can catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GothamLord. You can get me on Twitter @GothamLord. I am doing tons of giveaways. So come over, watch me stream. Hit that follow button, have a chance to win some free digital stuff, Funko Pops, giveaways, and my big one right now is my 250 goal on Twitter, and I'm giving away a copy of Overwatch Origins Editions, choice of platform.
Sweet. Nevin, anything else you would like to add?
Not really much. I do have a Twitter. It's dyslexic author. If you'd like to send me a tweet, follow me, you can go ahead and do so. I'm not too very active on that, but hopefully that'll change pretty soon with some free time coming up. Like I said, YouTube channel is youtube.com/27Nevin, or look up Nevin the Stapler King. Will be here as often as I can be, and I really don't do much anything else besides those 2 platforms or forms of media. So if you also feel like you would like to add me to get to know me a little bit better, you can add me. My username is Nevin39, as you can see. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for right now.
Nice.
And please don't.
Please.
Nice. Alright. That's it.
So, yeah, thanks guys. This has been Overwatch Today. You can find Overwatch Today everywhere on the internet. You can literally Google Overwatch Today, all one word or two words, and find us everywhere. Our Instagram page is now over 6,000 followers from all the Sombra nonsense and everything else. We hit 1,000 followers just over the span of 3 days, which is pretty cool. So we're coming up on 10,000 pretty fast now. So we'll get that, and then hopefully we can get some more follows on YouTube enough. We're at 79, so hopefully we can get up to that 100 to get our custom URL. You can also find us at overwatchtoday.blogspot.com, where you can find our podcast and links to everything if you don't feel like using Google. So that's all for today, and you can catch us throughout the week. I'll be here every day at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and hopefully the gentleman here will join us, and we can get some other randoms as well. Hunter, what was the name of the person that was on here?
Rumba Queen.
So Rumba Queen.
Again, she is on Twitch. If you want to check out Rumba Queen, twitch.tv/rumba_queen. She does podcasts about 4 or 5 days a week on average. She's a little crazy, as you can tell sometimes, but she is a very fun person to get in the chat with and hang out with. So I do highly recommend her Twitch stream. And you can also check her out on Twitter, same thing, at Rumba Queen. So.
Cool. Well, like I said, if you made it to the end of the show, congratulations. Just tweet at me, you made it to the end of the show, and you get your prize. So that's all for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, and Snoop Loop, and good night to you all.
Good night.